Every tech company is racing to build AI agents right now. There's not a lot of guidance on what an AI agent actually is. So let's talk about it. Hi, I'm John. I'm a professor with 20 years of AI research experience, and I'm also CEO of an AI startup where we're building a product for reliable document intelligence called SquarePact. And like so many others in AI, we're forced to pay close attention to the rapid development of agentic AI. For the record, I'm kind of yucked out by that term. Agent is something we already use in the field of AI, but it's been taken over to its current usage, and that battle's lost. But what is its current usage? It seems to be thrown around in so many different ways. So in this video, let's back up a second and try to understand what agentic AI is, what makes it different, and why it's going to affect you and your life, no matter what field or industry you're in. Let's start with what most people's experience of AI looks like right now. You type something, it responds, type something else, it responds again, and that's the whole loop. It's the familiar chatbot structure, something like a turn-based RPG combat system, right? You're the one deciding what to ask next, the one taking the answer and doing something with it, and nothing happens in between from the AI's point of view. The model isn't sitting there between your messages thinking about your problem. It's not planning its next move. It has no goals. It's just a very sophisticated question answering machine. There's nothing wrong with that. It could be very useful, but it's not what we're calling an agent. So what is an agent? Well, I want you to think of the word agency. We have agency when we're able to make our own decisions and act independently. In the law, when we grant someone agency, we're giving them authority to act on our behalf for some specific purpose. An agent is an entity that has agency. Now, there are degrees of agency. Some thermostats have agency to send commands to the air conditioning unit, but not agency to sign contracts on your behalf, unless you wanted to. But you can probably see what concept we're alluding towards when we're describing AI systems as agents as opposed to just chatbots. We're evoking this image of a system that has the ability to make its own decisions. An AI agent is what you get when you take an LLM, the kind of model that powers most AI chatbots, and add three things to it. The first is tools, the ability to actually do things in the world. Search the web, run code, read and send emails. Without tools, the model can only produce text. Tools are what give it hands to actually perform actions in the world. The second is memory and persistence. Not just the conversation history that you can see in a chat window, but a persistent record of what the agent has done, what it's learned, what it's working towards, even memory about the user. What are your preferences, right? Memory is what lets an agent pick up where it left off, track progress across a long task, and not end up repeating itself. The third is a feedback loop. After the agent takes an action, it observes what happened. Did the search return useful results? Did the code run without errors? Did the email send? And so on. It takes that observation, updates its understanding of where things stand, and decides what to do next. Then it does it again and again until the goal is reached or runs out of road. Unlike traditional chatbots, which show you their outputs right away, an agentic system may output something, reason about that, decide to think a little more, and then repeat that process many times before it finally decides to show you something. And that's why agentic systems tend to be slower and also more computationally expensive. So to recap, an agent is LLM plus tools, memory, and a feedback loop. That's an AI agent. Simple example. Let's say you ask an AI agent, book me the cheapest flight to Chicago next Tuesday, right? A standard AI chatbot would give you a helpful response. It might tell you where to search, what to look for, what to watch out for. Good information, but then you have to actually take actions yourself. An AI agent does something different. It could search for flights. It could compare prices, check your calendar to confirm when you're free, identify the best option, go to the page, fill in your information, and confirm the purchase. You just said one sentence. It handled the rest. That's an agentic workflow. The real distinction is information versus action. A chatbot just informs you. An agent will act on your behalf because it has the tools to perform actions, memory to compare the results of those actions to the goals of the current task, and this looping ability to keep trying until the result is actually right. Now, here's something worth pausing on because it's a point where I think a lot of people have the wrong intuition. When an agent is running that feedback loop, searching, looking at results, adjusting, it's learning. Not in the way sometimes people picture where the AI is getting permanently smarter or the weights are getting updated. The underlying model doesn't change during a task, but the agent's understanding of a specific task absolutely does change. It starts with limited information and then builds a clearer picture as it goes. It hits a dead end, finds another way, runs into something unexpected, and adjusts. That is a real kind of learning, or at least adaptation. The better question isn't, does it learn, but does what it learns stick around after the task is done? And that depends on how the memory of the agent is set up. Some systems wipe everything when the task ends, like a goldfish with a very expensive GPU, right? Some save things to external storage and carry them into future sessions. That is really one of the most active and exciting areas of research in the field right now, and it has big implications for how capable these systems can become over time. So why does any of this matter to you? Because it is a real shift in what AI is and how you can use it. With a regular chatbot, you're always in direct control. The AI helps you think, but you're the one performing actions. With an agent, that dynamic changes. The agent can act on your behalf. You set the goal and it runs with it. That's powerful, but it also means mistakes can pile up in ways that they wouldn't with a chatbot. You give a chatbot bad instructions, you get a bad answer, that's it. You give an agent with access to your email, calendar, and bank account bad instructions, and it might send things you never meant to send. It might cancel trips. It might make purchases on your behalf. The agent is only as good as the goal you gave it, the tools you gave it access to, how carefully you thought through what could go wrong, and most importantly, the guardrails that are placed on the agent architecture itself. That's not a reason to avoid agents. I think it's technology that's going to get better and better, but it's something you need to understand about them. And it's a big part of why AI safety researchers are watching agentic systems so closely, because the stakes are so much higher. So where are we actually at with this technology? Agents are real and are being used today. Anthropic built capabilities that let their AI control a computer desktop. Microsoft has agents built into its Copilot products across its business software. But I'm not a big fan. Perplexity created an internet browser that can interact with any website. But real doesn't mean reliable. These systems break down in ways that aren't always obvious. They do well on clean, simple tasks, but they tend to struggle when things get really complicated, which is most of what the real world deals with. The gap between what agents can do in theory and what you'd actually trust them with is still rather wide. Now, my company is also building a product called SquarePact to help address that. It's a platform for more reliable document intelligence, so contracts, proposals, regulatory documents, that sort of thing. So the gap is closing, but it's worth knowing that it's still there. And finally, we're just scratching the surface here. There's so much more to learn with agents, especially given what's coming in 2026. So consider this video the first in a series. If you like it and want to see the rest, then like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to know about in the comments.